Hi everyone, I'm Jenna,
And I'm Emma.
and today we're going to be talking about education and child poverty using HDI in the United States, and this is for quantitative reasoning 1. Okay, so we're going to start out and just kind of define some of our variables. So poverty, we defined it as when a family of 4 has an annual income that's less than the poverty threshold, and currently the poverty threshold is $23,624. Currently in the United States, 16 million children live in poverty, according to the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, which is an education program in the United States. And there are 74 million children in the U.S., meaning that 21% of all children that live in families below the poverty threshold. And that's also supported by an organization called the National Center for Children in Poverty.
And HDI, which stands for the Human Development Index, is a composite indicator of 3 variables: life expectancy at birth, adult literacy rate / the number of years of schooling, and the third one is standard of living as measured by the GNI per capita. So we chose to explore the percentage of people without a high school diploma and the percentage of children living in poverty. So as you can tell on the map, there's a correlation between the main 3 indicator variables and the specific ones that we chose to look at. So New Hampshire, the state we found to have the least child poverty at only 10%, has a high HDI score, which means it's close to 1, and therefore it's dark green on the map. And Mississippi, which we found had the most child poverty at 32.5%, is a very light green / yellow color, and that's due to its low HDI score.
Okay, so now we're going to go to an overall summary of the data that we had for each of these categories of children in poverty and students that did not graduate high school. So the graphs show that child poverty is higher, like the percentage is higher than the percent of students that did not graduate high school, with child poverty averaging around 21% in each state, and no high school education averaging around 13% in each state.
So then we compared the frequency of these percents within the United States by using histograms, which show the percents for each state for child poverty and also for a no high school diploma. So we found that 9.21 to 10.93% of people that not having a high school education was found to be the most common occurrence within 12 states that fell into that range. And the most common percentage of children in poverty was a range from 17.14 to 20.17%, with 13 states falling into that category.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the correlation between the 2 categories that we just discussed, which were the percent of children in poverty and the percent of students that don't graduate high school. And so our original hypothesis was that children who grow up in poverty are less likely to graduate high school. And by looking at the graph, you can see that there's a strong positive slope to the trend line. And that trend line itself has an R-squared value of 0.585, which is close to 60%, meaning that the 2 data sets have a decent amount of correlation.